Stock market investors are having an excellent year in 2024 with the S&P 500 index up 21.66% so far year to date as of November 1st. I say so far because a lot can happen in the last 2 months of the year, especially in the United States with the presidential election coming up in just a few days. It's always a volatile time for the stock market around presidential elections. So with that being said, what are my top 19 stocks to buy right now in 2024? That's what I'm going to share with you in this video. I'm also going to share with you the results of my stock picks so far in 2024 and how I've fared against the S&P 500 index. I want to share with you how my performance compares to the S&P 500 index. So without further ado, let's take a look at my top 19 stocks to buy right now and my performance year to date in 2024.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
All right, the first batch of stocks I'm going to recommend here include Snap, Fiverr, Uber, Salesforce, PayPal, Meta Platforms, Zoom Video, Netflix, and UiPath. And I'm going to share with you that PayPal I'm removing from my list today. The reason why I've included it here is because I've had PayPal stock on my list of top stocks to buy all year long, and I only recently removed it. So I'm including it because I'm going to count the performance in my total returns to compare against the S&P 500 index. Remember, I started this list in January of 2024, and at that time, I had 24 top stocks to buy. When I'm updating it here today, I only have 19 stocks on the list. So I've removed 5 stocks from my list for various reasons, which I'll discuss in a little bit. The next batch of stocks I'm going to recommend here include Visa, Alphabet, the Walt Disney Company, Nvidia, AMD, Chewy, Target, Nike, Amazon, Micron, eBay, which I'm also removing here today in this video, and the Home Depot. Now, you'll notice Nvidia is up already 173% year to date. And every month I've been reiterating my recommendation for Nvidia stock, telling investors that even though the price is up, it still offers great value because the profits, the earnings, the cash flow are up much more than the price is up. So you're still getting great value with Nvidia. So these are a lot of numbers to digest, and I'm sharing this with you for transparency. I'm going to go to another slide in just a little bit and compare the returns against the S&P 500 index. So let's take a look at how the S&P has fared. And that's up 21.66% so far year to date in 2024. I mentioned the S&P 500 is having an excellent year so far in 2024. That could all change, right? The presidential election could be a catalyst that brings the market lower, or it could be a catalyst that sends the market higher. It's always volatile around presidential elections. It's hard to determine which candidate would be better for the market. It depends a lot on the various outcomes of not just the presidential election, but also what happens to Congress and the Senate and who controls Congress and the Senate. Is it a divided government? Is it divided with Republicans on top? Is it divided with Democrats on top? There's a lot of moving parts here, and that's why volatility is just about certain surrounding presidential elections. Now, 2 other stocks that I had on my list that I removed a couple of months ago include Alibaba, which was up 51.9% when I removed it, and Coca-Cola, which was up 23.24% when I removed it. I'm going to include these in my results compared against the S&P 500. Now, you'll start to see how it's getting very imprecise here with these calculations. I'm comparing my results against the S&P 500, which is, up until today, November 1st. But some of my stocks I removed from the list earlier, several months ago. So those are returns for 7, 8 months or 6 months compared to the S&P 500 returns of 10 months. And so I'm not annualizing those returns compared to the S&P 500. So this is very imprecise, these calculations, but I thought it still would be informative to share with you as best I can the performance results of my stock picks compared to the S&P 500. All right, so here I have my list of stocks that I've recommended in 2024 on my list of top stocks to buy. And here is my portfolio return. So far, year to date, as of November 1st, my portfolio of these picks has returned 21.43%, which I am very pleased with. This kind of return, I'll take it every single year from now until eternity. If I can generate 21% rate of return, I would be thrilled. But it's still behind the S&P 500 index, which is up 21.66% year to date in 2024. So very close to the S&P 500, trailing by 23 basis points my return compared to the S&P 500. Again, let me remind everyone, very imprecise here with these calculations because of all the moving parts, the additions, the removals, the timing of the removals, and the timing of the additions. It's very, very imprecise. So that being said, let me highlight some of the removals. eBay, which I recently removed from the list. I didn't like what I saw from eBay's latest quarterly earnings results, and the stock was already up so much year to date, and I saw some concerns there. And so I thought that to be an opportunity to remove eBay off my list of top stocks to buy. Coca-Cola had returned 23% year to date when I removed it. That's an excellent return from Coca-Cola. That's roughly triple what I would expect from this beverage company. And I had seen some trends inside Coca-Cola's business that raised a little bit of a concern, not too much of a concern, but a little bit of a concern, enough where I didn't feel that it was one of my favorite stocks anymore. And so I removed it off of my list. Similar thing with PayPal. I recently evaluated PayPal's latest quarterly financial results. I saw a couple of things there that were not exciting to me. The company is increasing spending on marketing, sales and marketing, after several consecutive quarters of, keeping those muted. And I'm unsure how the new CEO, how successful this strategy is going to be. And so the valuation has also increased given how much PayPal stock price is up year to date in 2024. All of those were reasons why I removed PayPal off the list. And then finally, Alibaba, I removed off my list about a month ago, right around the time when Alibaba and other Chinese stocks got a huge lift following those news developments from China regarding how the government there is going to add stimulus to the economy. And I thought that the Chinese stocks got a little too excited. They jumped really quickly following that announcement. Now, they were already undervalued to begin with, so I understand the big jump. But I felt that an opportune time to take profits in Alibaba, which is up 52% already at that moment. And the business is still growing very slowly. It's still trying to turn things around, and we haven't seen the results of the stimulus yet. And so I thought it would be a great opportunity to take profits in Alibaba stock as well. So there you have it, my top 19 stocks to buy. And of course, the ones that I have removed from my list are not on the list anymore. Of course, I share with you my spreadsheet of my stocks to buy, top stocks to buy, and the changes I make all the time regularly during my videos. So if you want to see more of that, subscribe to my channel and watch the videos that I share. Of course, this should be for informational purposes only. Do your own due diligence before making a decision about investing in any of these stocks. Hey everyone, so many of you have been asking about my investing strategy, and I'm excited to announce that I've written a book that's available for sale now that describes my 6-step investing framework for evaluating stocks. I've added the link in the description below.